Hello and welcome back to Football Talk, the podcast with myself, Dave, and Josh. Are you there?
Yes, I'm back in the
Excellent.
house.
He's back. 1 week off. How was it?
Lovely, yeah. Listen to a podcast with Owen. Well done, Owen. But step aside. Enough about West Ham. Let's talk about real football.
Real football. I mean, he's going to take effect. They got a win. They got a win. He's their lucky
They
charm.
did. They
Get him
did.
on. Get him on the
Yeah,
podcast, and West Ham buck their ideas up and get a win. So, I mean,
yeah.
that's
Well done,
it's
them.
well done, Pulp Song. That's what I say. Well done, Owen. It was all him. Anyway, what's your week in football been like, mate? Anything going on?
Yeah. Well, so my week off. The final day of it actually was. I went back up north for my late father-in-law. He passed away last year. We had a charity match in his honour, and
Oh, nice.
they some friends and family. They had been training for a few weeks, for a few months, and they played against a Burnley legends. They have this vintage clarets, who some ex-Burnley players do kind of like charity matches and things like that. And so I watched that match. That was quite enjoyable.
Nice.
And I thought, God, that'd be lovely to have that as a thing like for Spurs, if like ex Spurs players do it. But I think it's more a fact that like Burnley obviously were a lower side back in those times. So players aren't
Yeah.
like pundits and managers these days. They've racked up hundreds of kind of league appearances, but I didn't really know any of them. But it would be very good to, because obviously for people playing, it was their hero, so that was quite enjoyable to watch. They
Oh,
lost,
nice.
I think it was 6-2. I think the friends and family lost, but they took a 2-0 lead in the first 15 minutes. They came out of the block storming, but
Wow.
£1,600 was raised for charity for hospice that my late father-in-law required. So that's very good, very fun.
Excellent. Yeah, that's all. That's a very nice story, and you don't really hear about
Hmm.
things too much like that, do you, in football nowadays? So that was
Yeah.
good. That's a very good, interesting idea to do, like the old, yeah, friends and family versus a legends sort of team, because it's normally legends
Yeah.
v legends, isn't it? It's not normally amateurs v
Yes.
legends.
Yeah.
So that's a very good, yeah, very good idea to do. Anything else? Anything else you got up to in football or
I
news
played
that caught your eye
football.
or anything?
I played football five-a-side. Got the ball in the face in the last minute and got a
Amazing.
fat lip and work next day. So it made me appreciate when you see a player get hit in the face with like a free kick. You think, yeah, I'd probably be in tears at that point. So this was literally a player kind of trying to scoop the ball over the back line and just caught me in the face. I was like, oh, this wasn't even hit
Bloody hell.
hard. So well done, footballers. You're brave soldiers.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
News wise, we saw last week we've seen Zlatan score his 500th career goal, haven't we?
Yeah. What a goal.
So yeah, so I just wanted to see your off the cuff favourite Zlatan goal. Go.
Oh, favourite the bicycle kick against England.
Yeah, against Joe.
Right.
Was it Joe Hart, I reckon?
Joe
Yeah.
Hart, yeah. It was just the it's probably not his best goal he's ever scored, but in my mind it's sort of like having that wherewithal to know where he was and where everybody else was on the pitch, and then to perform that from that range and get it on target and score a goal is just incredible.
It's like Uber Zlatan, isn't it? It's
It
just like,
is,
oh, for
yeah.
God's sake, that is.
It's
Yeah.
a great way to
Mine.
describe it, yeah.
Yeah, my one is the one I don't know who it was against. Maybe I'm gonna say NAC Breda for Ajax, where he just a slow mo kind of dribble just from
Oh
the edge of the
yeah.
box into the box, chopping back and forth. That is for me
That is a love.
is
It's like
Zlatan.
he slalomed in between defenders, didn't he? And then went to shoot with his
Yeah,
right and did the goalkeeper, and then cut back inside and just put it in an empty net with his left. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lovely goal. That is a
beautiful.
lovely goal. That is a
Yeah,
very good goal. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, interesting. My week in football has been interesting. We're recording this podcast just as I finished a game. There was texts going between Josh and I about what time I'd be back. But I made it. We've just won 6-2, which is very, very nice, which is good. A 6-2 win in football was lovely. In 38-degree heat, we were playing in. It was nearly unbearable. It
ooh,
was so hot. Like, we stepped out of the change rooms onto the pitch and just sweat straight. Like, all the sun cream I'd put on had just run straight in my eyes. It was an absolute nightmare. Um, but yeah, other than that, there isn't too much, like, for me, football wise. News wise, it's just sort of, I'm getting a little bit sort of annoyed because, yeah, it's same old, isn't it? You know, Real Madrid go top of La Liga, Bayern Munich go top at 2 points clear of Bundesliga, Man City go top of the Premier League. It's all just, I want someone
yeah.
else to be up there and running away with it, and I also want Man United to be
You
doing
say
better.
that.
But
You say that, but I've realised that ever since Leicester's like title win, I get a little bit annoyed at teams who have a good start to the season, like Watford. I'm like, because they drew against Fulham. So I'm like, yeah, you're not on your winning run anymore, are you? Get back, sit down, Watford fans, because it just irks me. Because I think being a Spurs fan, we were kind of close to the title as well. It's like I don't want anybody stealing our chance again. So yeah, I actually dislike seeing horribly, because you normally like an underdog. I dislike seeing the underdog
Yeah.
come up the ranks, or maybe I just hate Watford. So I'm yet to kind of work that one out.
I've got to correct myself straight away because Man City aren't actually top of the league. It's Liverpool.
It's
It's
Liverpool, is it? And
Liverpool are top by
they
2
play each other in
points.
the coming weeks, don't
They do,
they? Yeah.
yeah, they do. Liverpool have got an absolutely crazy fixture list coming up. It was like PSG, Southampton, Chelsea, Man City, Chelsea again in the
Chelsea
cup.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then a European game, like
Napoli. Yeah.
yeah, that's a mental run. Um,
Hmm.
the other thing in the news as well, everybody's one probably not yours because he used to be an Arsenal player. Santi Cazorla. What's your thoughts on Santi Cazorla? Because he's obviously come out.
Oh, I love a bit of Santi Cazorla.
Okay,
Love
that's
him.
good then. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. I was going to say everyone's
Technically
favourite.
beautiful.
Yeah, little Spaniard.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
So he's come out in an
2-footed.
interview. He's come out in an interview and talked about his the Achilles tendons thing that he had with the bacteria coming out and eating
Yeah.
like 8 or 9 centimeters of it or whatever it was for his Achilles tendon, and talking about going back to Villarreal, and then he opened up about Wenger as well as a manager and openly came out and said Wenger couldn't instill belief in his players, so if they were winning that was fine, but as soon as they got knocked down a little bit, like Wenger just wasn't the sort of manager to get people going again, which is it's interesting to hear a player come out and say that. It's what everyone's always sort of thought, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Do you know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of Alan Pardew, because I always feel like Alan Pardew, he can like the team can go on a good run, and someone often decide to have a good run, like we did with Newcastle and I think Palace did. But once that slide starts, he is not getting him out of that slide. It just goes from bad to worse, and then he gets sacked. So
yeah.
it's funny because whether how many managers do have that, because obviously some managers choose jobs where the slump's never going to get that great. Whether they can abate that, and it's interesting.
Yeah, it is. The only other little thing I wanted to chat about, which is just come into my mind, I thought we'd have a quick look at our our predictions that we made before the season.
Yes,
I've got them in front of me. If you have a quick little look and see how we're matching up after the first 6 games in the league. So we both said Man City would win the league. They're currently second, 2 points behind Liverpool. The rest of the top 4 in order for me was Liverpool second, Spurs third, and Chelsea fourth. So Chelsea and Spurs are up there. Liverpool up there. Yeah, you had Liverpool, Spurs, Man United. Yeah, again, all possible. Fifth and sixth.
Well, maybe I want United.
Wow. Yeah. Well, they're in sixth. They're in sixth. It's, they're only 2 points behind you guys. So
Punch above their weight.
Yeah. 8 points behind Liverpool already, which is incredible.
Oh, crikey!
I know. I had Man United finishing 5th, so I'm currently 1 place out. You had Arsenal finishing 5th, so you're quite a way off.
Still to play today. Still to play.
Yeah, still to play. That's true. I had Arsenal in 6th. You had Chelsea in 6th. So you obviously underestimated Sarri's start to the season. Well, obviously we're talking about the end of the season. And then the infamous relegation spots. Now I'm happy to say that
we're pretty good here, aren't we?
We both have 2 of them in there. You have one absolutely shocking estimation, which was Watford. You had Watford.
Maybe I do hate Watford. Yeah.
You had Watford in 18th, who are currently in a Champions League spot in 4th. And I didn't do much better, to be honest, because I had Crystal Palace, who are currently very safe in mid-table on 7 points in 11th place.
It's currently Newcastle in that spot, isn't it?
It is. Newcastle are currently 18th, with the bottom 3 all drawing on 2 points, which is Newcastle, Cardiff, and Huddersfield. And we both had Huddersfield and Cardiff to go down in 19th and 20th, respectively. So I just thought it would be an interesting thing to come and visit back every so often, just to see how our predictions are matching up. Unfortunately, I don't have written down in front of me what we predicted for Golden Boot and things like that, but it's way early in the season for those sorts of things. So, again, and then one other article in the news that caught my eye was actually on the BBC. About the guy who was labelled as the new Rooney, George Green was what his name was, and he comes out openly talking about addiction and cocaine and things like that. So, did you read that article?
I had a brief scan of it. Yeah, it's that kind of side of football that you exists in places, but you don't ever really see much of it until it's a real failed case, do you? Like, you
Yeah,
imagine things like that, but like top level, some players get involved with it, and you go, oh, he's had enough, oh, he's out injured, and things like that. Like the Berahino thing was potentially like kind of cocaine
yeah.
usage, but you don't really see it, so I do.
Exactly. So I just thought that was so. If you haven't gone and seen that article, go and check it out. Definitely on the BBC. 'Cause it's an interesting read. It is an interesting read. Like there's a sentence in there that I remember stuck with me where he was like, "I've earned around about £500,000 through football, and all I've got to show for it is an iPad." I was like, that's quite an interesting sentence to show for it. Like he's wasted that much money.
That is.
So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so it does happen out there. The football players get too much too soon sometimes and blow it all. But blow it all. That's a pun that wasn't intended. Obviously, cocaine is called blow, but there we go. Oh, the best jokes are the ones
Oh,
you have to
you know your
explain.
drugs, do you, Dave? Know your drugs.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So, right, quickly moving on then. Let's go and chat about
Right.
yesterday's Premier League fixtures.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Why not? You pick a
I'll
game.
run the show. So yeah, we had the early fixture. This is Premier League. We're going to focus on Premier League here, guys. So we had the Fulham Watford game start, and obviously I've now confirmed in my head I hate Watford. So well done Fulham for putting back level. Watford obviously scored an early goal, but
Yeah.
Fulham, your man
Mitro.
Mitrovic,
Yeah.
Mitro getting his fourth goal of the season.
Joint top goal scorer.
Yeah, did you have him as your top goal scorer? Do you reckon? Was he up there?
No. I thought he was going to flop and fail. We described him
Yeah.
as a championship
And
striker.
we did, and it's all credit to like choosing a club wisely and choosing a effectively going to play in a system wisely. Because I read an interview of him recently saying how him and Benitez, they weren't ever going to work together because Benitez wanted him to track back all the time, and it just wasn't his game. He needs to be up there at the end of the pitch, in and around the box, and to kind of get in on the end of things. And he wasn't going to get that at Newcastle, so he moved on, and he's at Fulham, where they play to his strengths. So yeah,
Yeah, it's also
long may the goals continue.
I really hope they do, but it's also a very interesting thing because normally when a player goes on loan to a championship team and then the championship team gets promoted and buys him, he normally really struggles. And this was a player that struggled in the Premiership previously, but he's firing on all cylinders. I hope he can keep it up. I do just want to point out that Janmat was absolutely shocking at the back for Watford just before Mitrovic scored his goal because I watched that game because it was on at a sensible time for Singapore. And Janmat just sort of really backed out of a tackle that ended up leading to the cross that came in from, I think it was maybe Sherlock or Vieto that put the cross in, and it cost them the win. So, which
another former Newcastle player there.
Yeah, and evidently you were delighted about. So,
yeah, I think part of it stems from my hatred of Troy Deeney. So
yeah,
he's he's coming out. Oh, I'm a big strong lad, and I'll play with broken bones on the foot. It's like, oh god, stop with uber masculinity. Just some people are injured, some people aren't. Get on with it. Don't have to prove anything to anyone, mate.
Did you think about that? Did you feel like that before you got a ball in the face as well, or was it just after you had that impact through football? That's how you suddenly thought, yeah, people are hard. Don't worry about it,
yeah. Some people are hard. Yeah, I carried on, went to work the next day, looking like I had my lips done. Yeah,
yeah. And then there was a lot of goals, wasn't there? Looking at the scores.
Yeah, so there wasn't the Palace Newcastle game. There was nothing, but there's a lovely. If you want to see a season contender, you got Mohamed Sakho gets a free header at back post to an almost open goal, and just tries to do too much. I think he sees the keeper kind of coming across and he wants to put it out of his reach, but if you just got on target, he stands a lot more chance of scoring. But that was a shocker.
I mean, that game though, isn't it? It's like Benteke versus Hosselu as your leading strikers. It's never going to have goals in it. So
no, will Benteke ever score again? We don't know.
He will. They'll give him a penalty in the cup or something, and he'll score. Or they'll probably miss it.
Linked to that, Saido Berahino scored his first league goal since something like 2016 yesterday.
And then also missed the penalty in the 92nd minute. Did you hear that?
Can't have it all, Dave.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
They were 3-0 down, Stoke, and they got it back to 3-2. Berahino scored to make it 3-1. Someone else scored to make it 3-2.
No.
They got a penalty in the 91st or 92nd minute or something, and Berahino stood up and missed it, and they'd lost 3-2. So, yeah. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. And he was going to be your backup striker for Harry Kane at one point.
Yeah, at one point, yeah, that was talked about, and you never know with a different manager, different system, and maybe some different distractions, he may have done something. But it almost seems like his chance has gone now to be
Oh yeah,
that player,
he's
to be a top level striker. It's amazing how quickly things can slip out of your grasp, but it does seem like it's a long way back up for Berahino now.
the only way he'll be playing in the Premier League is if he stays with Stoke and they get promoted. No Premier League team will buy him now. He's
Well, you
no.
never know if he has a massive season this season, just goes strength to strength. I mean, could obviously turn Stoke into a
Yeah,
promotion side, but yeah, we'll see.
yeah. So
Um, moving on,
you said you're up north near Burnley. So they got a great win, first win of the
they
season
did
for
get a
Burnley
great
in the
win.
Premier League. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just our Bournemouth, the most unpredictable side. They're playing well. They're fifth before this started. Burnley were bottom of the table side. I mean, I reckon this probably spoiled a fair few accumulators. Burnley smash it 4-0. It's like, what's going on?
but it's
How do they manage to do that?
yeah I know, but it's if you're looking at it last season, it's the exact fixture you would have said. Yeah, Burnley will win that.
Oh, absolutely. Burnley at home, you're like, yeah, they've got this. But
Yeah,
you kind of go on run of form. I've always been interested in if there was a table uh, to see, or a kind of a stat to see who played teams at the best points to play them. So, like Spurs playing Watford at the start of the season, there 4 games in, they're on a strong run of form. Maybe that's probably going to be their best run of form all season. So that was a bad time to play them. Or playing Burnley at this point where they had lost lots of games is a good time to play them. I've always been intrigued to see, because obviously teams ebb and flow their form. If you could obviously catch it just in the sweet spot where you play a lot of teams on their lowest ebb of form. I've always been intrigued to do that as a bit of analysis, but it's a bit of a grind to
that would
see.
be a big grind. Yeah, to do
Yeah,
that. It would be interesting to see though. It would be interesting to see. So yeah,
yeah,
Burnley. I mean, and Ashley Barnes scoring two. I don't think anybody would have predicted
yeah.
that because he's
No, but
pretty
my
terrible.
favourite goal scorer there is obviously Aaron Lennon scoring a goal. I love a bit of Aaron Lennon.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so
cool.
yeah, and obviously he's had his issues as well. So it's good to see him scoring and see him smiling.
Yeah, yeah. And then from obviously a resounding home win to a resounding away win with everybody's least favourite Premier League team, Cardiff City, getting absolutely battered by Man City.
I did, yeah, and there's some lovely little goals there. So Gundogan scored a nice goal from outside the box. But I don't know if you've seen it. There's a lovely near post flicked looped header from Bernardo Silva. It's a lovely little goal. You don't really expect him
Oh,
to. You
no,
don't see many of those goals full stop, but for him to off that one up that was lovely. But
I do love a good header
yeah, I
like that.
mean, yeah,
Annoyingly, I
and
missed one of
but
them
as for
today. But
you had.
from a corner, yeah, I was up from a corner, I ran to the near post, tried to flick it over the goalkeeper, and I got it all wrong. It hit my shoulder and went wide.
Yeah. What can I say, Dave? Maybe you're not the same level as Bernardo Silva. I think we just gathered from that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd agree. So, anybody? Did you see the highlights of it? The Man City game? Anybody really
Yeah,
stand out, or Cardiff look
yeah.
really that
Well,
bad?
it's nice to see. It's nice to see Mahrez getting a bit of game time and getting a few goals, because there's a risk that a player that makes that move and obviously plays well for their lower side goes to make that big move and then just doesn't make it. I mean, Wilfred Boney, for example, obviously a
Yeah,
big man at Swansea, went to City, and not as kind of as big a move as Mahrez made, and probably wasn't quite right for the overall. They kind of a bit of a panic buy in January, that one, but it's nice to see Mahrez getting a few goals and hopefully gets a bit more game time, because he's a cracking player. So it'd be nice to see him
I
push
think.
on.
Yeah, what I like about that is that because obviously Man City were interested in him before, weren't they? Before they actually bought him, like
Mm,
the transfer window before, and he stayed at Leicester for another season because Leicester wouldn't sell him, and had another good season for Leicester. And I think that sort of emphasised that he's not just a flash in the pan one off. He had like 3 good seasons for Leicester City, and then Man City sort of knew what they were getting. And I agree. I think he looks like he's a good, skillful winger, and it's good to see him getting some game time and scoring some goals, which is good, albeit for
yeah,
Man City, which is annoying. But
yeah. Leroy Sané looked good. He's had a bit of a hard time in the press in recent weeks, and he re-saying a few players have come and said he looks a little bit like he doesn't care. He cares about himself, but he did well again and set up a few goals and was quite instrumental there. So that was quite good to see.
yeah, good, 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 good.
Um, yeah.
Huddersfield Town succumbing to another loss. it's just not going right for them.
Yeah, I mean, first goal for Leicester. Huddersfield shouldn't find themselves in that situation. So Huddersfield corner, 18 minutes in, and then Leicester break from it, and they have some like three players running through on goal. The Huddersfield defenders are pushed up into the opposition half, and so it's just far too open, far too early. But I see that, and then there's a couple of nice goals from Leicester, the other ones. So Vardy had a breakaway goal again, beat the defender for pace, and then his little finish over the keeper. I mean, is it a dink? Is it a lob? Is it a chip? I think I'm gonna go for dink. A
Okay,
dink
nice.
finish. Yeah, so that's nice. And then Maddison scores a free kick. I just watched earlier in the week a video of him like saying about his watching him practice free kicks and how he bases himself on David Beckham and goes and scores one. The only problem with a
Nice.
free kick he scored was the goalkeeper got too much of a hand to it. The goalkeeper gets a hand on a finish. It annoys me. Do you see Dimitri Payet's side-footed box finish from
I did, yeah.
last weekend?
I did, yeah.
Keeper gets a hand to it, spoils the aesthetics of it. David Bentley's goal against Arsenal for Spurs, probably about 5-6 years back, massive long-range shot. Almunia gets a big hand to it. Stop. If you're not going to save it properly, don't get your hands to it, goalkeepers. You're ruining how it looks for me.
Oh, there you go. Goalkeepers of the world. Josh is not happy.
No.
Don't make
Yeah,
an
either
effort.
save it or miss it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Um, so, and then, yeah, I mean, it's very annoying, isn't it, when between them, the two biggest rivals of my club score 8 goals and concede none. So,
Yeah.
Liverpool smashing future Liverpool 3-0.
Yeah, I say they've won their first 7 games of the season, new record for them. They've now
Yeah.
gone 8 games at Anfield without conceding a goal. They are looking on fire. And Xherdan Shaqiri, similar to the kind of Mahrez piece, Xherdan Shaqiri had a good 45 minutes, amazingly.
Yeah.
He had a good 45 minutes and then got hooked to half time, which was quite odd.
It was
So,
very strange because
you
Klopp
trying to.
also started him in
Yeah,
centre midfield as well.
yeah. And there's much better players, or much more established players that Klopp could have taken off. You're 3-0 up at half time. Shaqiri's wanting to make a name for himself. He's wanting to push on and improve. He's had a good half. The fans need to kind of build that relationship with him, and he takes them off. So I think if I was Shaqiri, I'd been pretty. Unless there's an injury, if it was just tactical, I'd be pretty fuming if I was Shaqiri. I'd be like, you got Firmino, Mane, Salah all playing who played midweek. Take one of them off. So I've been a bit annoyed at that.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think it was a obviously you can't call it the wrong decision because they won the game, but it's a very odd decision. It's a weird decision for Jurgen Klopp to make.
Seems unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Yeah, it's a good way to describe it. And then I didn't mean for this to happen, but we've left our two teams to last to discuss of the fixtures yesterday. I'll go first.
Go on then, Dave.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I thought Man United played okay against Wolves. I thought we were we were creative. We tried to push forward. Lukaku looked isolated at times, but then Jimenez looked isolated for Wolves at times as well, with both teams playing a similar formation. I thought Paul Pogba had a good game. Some of the times he did too much, like he always does. But normally when Pogba has a good game, Man United have a good game and win. We scored against the run of play. Did you watch the game and see the goals?
I've watched the highlights of it. I've seen, it's in line share of it, yeah.
Pogba's assist is incredible. What a touch.
It's filthy, isn't it?
It's absolute filth. Yeah, down for Fred, who scores very well. On his weaker foot, because he's left-footed.
Nice weak foot finish. Yeah,
with his right foot, a good finish. And I think Fred is growing into a Man United shirt. It still annoys me that it was 1-1, it got to 1-1, and our fallback plan was right. Well, let's just put Fellaini alongside Lukaku and chuck balls into the box. It's like it's not pleasing to see. It's not nice. If I was a fan at Old Trafford, then I would have just been so obviously willing the team on, but I would have been so annoyed by that sort of. Is that it? That's our options, is it? I mean, we bought us Andres Pereira, who looked pretty good when he came on, and he had a decent-ish start to the season, but. You know, Alexis Sanchez, I was happy. I tweeted out I was happy that Mourinho's actually subbed him off once. I think he was kept very quiet by, I think it was Bennett at Wolves, right back,
Yep.
kept Sanchez very quiet. And he's just been so piss poor, Alexis Sanchez. He's been awful in the United shirt, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. Martial and Mata
Do you
came
see a
on.
way back for him?
Um,
Because I'm thinking kind of Fernando Torres style flop at the moment for with Chelsea's days. Because I mean
yeah,
Torres had a few injuries at Liverpool, and then I think he looked as on his way down. And I see the same with Alexis. I think Alexis has lost out the yard of pace. He looks a bit lost. He's trying things. He's just not getting there. I'm at the moment I can't see a way back, and it's a lot of
yeah.
money. I mean, his rumour has he's on hundreds and hundreds of £1,000s a week, makes him somewhat unbenchable at times. So it's good. I agree with you. It's good to see him get subbed off because it shows that he's not too big to be subbed off. But I'm struggling to
Well,
see a way back from him at the
it's
moment.
telling. I agree. I struggle. I think he will be played because of the money. I think that's he'll get starting positions because of the money. But it's interesting that Mourinho, when we signed him, and he obviously started quite very slowly. For United, he still is playing slowly. But when we signed him and he was slow and not performing, Mourinho was like, oh yeah, but give him a full pre-season and give him learning how we play and how we can get the best out of him. And Mourinho was asked a similar question, what's up with Alexis Sanchez? And his response was pretty much along the lines of, well, I don't know, it's not working, sort of thing. And it's sort of like, wow, that's quite indicative. And when you've got someone like Martial, who's I think does want to try and play and impress Mourinho, Martial, waiting in the wings, and Rashford to come back from his suspension. I just don't. I do see the similarities between Torres and Sanchez, and I think the similarities will be there in the sense that the money that is being spent, or the transfer fee that was spent on Torres means you had to play him, and the wages being spent on Sanchez means you sort of have to play him, and it's just annoying to see it. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Wolves. Wolves really impressed me. First 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If we didn't have De Gea in goal, it's 2-0 Wolves. So, I love the fact they have like Nuno Espirito Santo has this way of them playing, and he sort of has you can see at half time he's got substitutions in his mind about how they want it to go, and I think Adama Traore has to be one of the best impact subs purely to scare defenders in the Premier League. I mean, his end product is pretty terrible, but like
Yeah,
if he was coming,
agreed.
If I was Luke Shaw and I've just been playing against like Diego Jota or Ruben Neves drifting out wide and people like that, and then after like 75 minutes you look over and Adama Traore is coming on, I'll just be like, oh my god, I don't need that.
He is exceptionally quick and exceptionally good dribbler. And it's just I do love a player who can just because it's not a talent I've ever had really. That pace and and dribbling talent. But to see it, it's just like just glides past. And I've seen similarities with how Lucas Moura plays at Spurs. It's just like he's just got that low central gravity, that burst acceleration, and just goes around players with absolute ease. It's a joy to watch. Just often you find those players lack that product, which is unfortunate.
Exactly. Just I don't want to spend too much time on that game, but yeah, Wolves did well. The goal was fantastic from João Moutinho. His first goal for Wolves. Absolutely incredible finish with his left foot to curl it round De Gea into the corner. De Gea, it's not very often you see De Gea just watch a ball go into the net, but he knew he couldn't do anything about that.
He was obviously listening to me. He didn't want to get a hand to it.
Yeah. He was doing it just to please you, Josh.
Yeah.
And then, I heard an interesting stat from the commentator. I don't know if you know this one. When Ruben Neves in the Championship for Wolves scored more goals from outside the box than he did have touches inside the box.
Touches inside it, yeah.
Absolutely incredible stat. Absolutely incredible.
It is.
But yeah,
he's afraid of going in the box. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't need to if he scores goals from outside the box, does he?
Yeah.
But I think Wolves if they can keep the momentum up they've got, I can see them pushing for a European spot, and next year definitely pushing for a Europa League spot, and maybe having a cup run or something like that. They just look so together and so team orientated, and so they know what they need to do to win a game, or in this case draw a game, and they never gave up, and it was really good. It was just a very strange game that our Man United's goal came against the run of play. Wolves were on top, and then when Wolves scored was probably Man United's most dominant part of the game. So yeah, it was frustrating, annoying, sort of sums up the Mourinho era, that 1-1 draw with Wolves. But yeah. Anyway,
seems like the pressure's abated a little bit on Mourinho, isn't it? Like after the Spurs result, it seems to be quite heavy on him. But I think it's kind of a bit light now. The media have found other things to get interested on. There's a bit more going on as the season builds. So I think he's not as kind of visually under pressure as he has been, even
I
with this result, I
agree,
think.
but I also think part of it is because there's no transfer window. You're outside of a transfer window now, so there's none of that arguments between Woodward and Pogba and Mourinho that we covered in a previous podcast. I think come January, if we're still hovering around 6th, 5th, 7th, something like that, and it's not going well, I think they'll resurface and there'll be all those arguments again. But I'm depressing myself. Josh, talk about Spurs because they
Okay,
won.
right. Spurs, yeah, we had a decent game actually. Started really well, absolutely bossed Brighton for the first half. Really, Brighton just stood off, let us play. Not well. If I was Chris Hughton, I wouldn't have set them up like that because Spurs obviously a bit frail, lost the last three. Just get in their faces and don't give them a chance to play. Especially as we were using our third keeper of the season, our third choice keeper, Paolo Gazzaniga. And so you want to get, like, he had something like 4 or 5 touches in the first minute. It's like, well, you want to make sure he doesn't settle into the game. So had a good first half. And took the lead from a silly handball from Glenn Murray, handballing it in the
Yeah.
wall after Kieran Trippier free kick. Kane dispatches.
Is that
Then
Trippier on
second
free
half
kicks
at
now?
Brighton.
Is Trippier on free kicks? Do you reckon?
It's kind of interchanges between Ericsson.
Okay.
But obviously Trippier's already scored one this season. But yeah, he's definitely. I mean, he was nowhere to be seen at free kicks before the World Cup, so he's definitely up the pecking order now.
Yeah.
But second half, Brighton came out fighting a bit more, created a couple of chances, nothing exceptional. They had a decent chance from Knockaert, who's got no right foot, and just passed it into Gazzaniga, and then Lamela comes on for Spurs, and I love a bit of Lamela. He's all action. He's just very enthusiastic, and it's a lovely kind of one-touch goal from Spurs, and saw the game out. And Harry Kane was getting back to his best. He was taking shots. He wasn't playing as a kind of impotent midfielder. It was he actually he fired all 3 shots he had straight at Matt Ryan, but it was good to see him getting shots off because I've been worried. I felt like he was carrying an injury and scared to shoot, so it's good to see him actually for it. But they got a late goal, decent breakaway, and decent left-footed knockout finish. But overall, good win for Spurs, and we got a very winnable run of games coming up before Barcelona. But
Okay.
yeah, should be good.
Nice. Good. Excellent. And you happy with... Well, obviously, you're not happy with how it's gone with obviously the 3 losses in a row. But the Brighton win, do you reckon that's turned a corner now? It wasn't the prettiest of performances, but do you think that's Spurs, turning the corner, getting back on the...
Yeah, I mean,
horse?
it's such fine margins. So Watford game, a couple of headers from corners, and that's the game where you think that we really shouldn't have lost. Liverpool, I mean, they're an outstanding side, so losing those, it's easily done. And then the Inter Milan one again, Inter Milan Champions League going away. It's not easy. It's just the manner of those happening, and it was such fine margins of an Inter Milan game, especially. It's like Icardi does nothing all game, scores a bluter, and then there's the last minute goal. It's just fine margins. Because it's the only one that really is hard to take is that Watford game. And if that hadn't happened, I think it would be a lot less doom and gloom. But I'm happy. I think we just need to play our way into a bit of form. We've made a few defensive mistakes in the last few weeks, and that's just a bit of rustiness. I think we're just going to play our way into playing confidence. And we did look. There was a lot less mistakes from our back 4 or 5 yesterday. So yeah, I think we're on the up.
Okay, that was good. Very quickly then, predictions. West Ham v Chelsea.
I'm going for a West Ham 1, Chelsea 1.
Oh, I've gone for 1-1 as well in that game. Arsenal Everton.
I'm going for Arsenal 3-1. Aubameyang gets a couple.
I've gone 2-1 Arsenal, so we're on the same similar sort of page there.
Okay,
well, let's
get your bets on.
move on. I reckon. Let's move on. We'll crack on and go into the wiki files. So
Here, Dave.
Yeah, who needs the wiki files? This is the wiki files. I've got a wiki file for you. There we go.
Yes.
It's getting there. It's getting there slowly. It will evolve over time. So Josh, I have sent you a player, and you've already got one hint because what did I say a couple of weeks ago?
You're going to do a foreigner.
I'm going to do a foreigner. So there it is. Can you please tell the people what you see?
Okay. Oh my goodness. Right. So I see them starting their career in 1992 for Umia. Okay. I'm going to go for, because of their next club, I'm going to presume that is in Scandinavia, because they then moved after a season to IFK Gothenburg. So, okay, 38 appearances for Mia, 8 goals. 73 appearances for Gothenburg, 18 goals. Then they moved to Milan for a season, 20 appearances, 1 goal. So in Italy, they go to Parma, 28 appearances, 1 goal. Another season. When Manchester United for 3 years, but only play for a season's worth of games, again 1 goal. He
He
just loves
loves
that
one goal.
goal.
This guy, he loves scoring one
Yeah.
goal.
Moves to Everton for a season, 15 games, 1 goal. Oh, Charlton couldn't muster it because his game's reduced now. He's on the low. He only plays 3 games for Charlton Athletic. Doesn't get his goal, but he goes back to Sweden for Djurgården, 9 games, 1 goal. Then he goes to Enköping, 10 games, 1 goal, and then it ends at Hammarby IF. I'm sure it's not how you say it. 6 games, no goals. So he has 227 appearances, 32 goals. Well done, Jesper Blomqvist.
It is Jesper Blomqvist. I thought it'd be quite an easy
Yes.
one, but yeah, I was hoping the one goal thing would maybe think, is it a defender? But yeah, obviously he scored 1 goal for Man United.
You know what? Yeah, did he start with 1999
He did.
Champions League final?
He did in right wing.
He did start at right wing, yes, because you were
Beckham
missing.
played in the middle because Keane was suspended.
Beckham played in the middle. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I didn't know that he played for Milan. I knew he'd signed him from Parma, but I didn't know that he had played for Milan before that.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I don't remember that. Yeah,
it's a odd career, isn't it? It's a very odd career.
There's not many games.
There's
Many
not.
league games, are there?
There's not. And also, I want to know what happened in 2009.
Yeah.
So he just disappeared for a bit.
Just gave up. Just had that time out. And Copping for 10 games, nothing. I reckon he's retired, but maybe he's got a soft spot for Hammarby.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And play. Hammarby's, I think I'm right to say, it's one of Hammarby's biggest legends of all time. It's one of my favourite football manager players of all time. Kennedy Bakircioglu.
Yeah.
Free kick master. I loved him on Football Manager. But yeah, I think he's one of their all-time legends.
He is. Just to wrap it up for you, do you want his international stats?
Yeah, I think he's going to have played 27 games for Sweden, 1 goal.
Oh, you are so close. He played 15 games for the under-16s, didn't score any. 12 games for the under-18s and scored 1 goal, obviously. 12 games for the under-23s and scored 3 goals. And then for the senior team, he had 30 appearances, but didn't score. So you were very close. You were very close with the 27, but he didn't get his goal. So there we go. That was a very quick Wiki Files. Jesper Blomqvist, well done, Josh. Well done.
Thank you.
You get the award for guessing Jesper Blomqvist. We should probably keep a tally of scores. I've lost track of the scores now. If someone wants to go back and tally them up through history, go for it. But then, so on to the second part of the podcast, which is something that you recommended we did. So I'll let you talk through it.
Yes. So I saw this out on Twitter, and it was to name your 23-man all-time Premier League squad for your current side. So it's based on that you pick a 23-man squad for your national side when you go to a major tournament. But you can do this picking any player who's played for your side. There's no Kana rule. There's no ride-out rule. But you pick the 23-man squad. Obviously, you've got to make it somewhat balanced for your side. So I've done a Tottenham one, and Dave has done a Manchester United one.
I have indeed. And it's had a last-minute change, but I'm happy with it.
That's it.
Yeah, it had one person getting dropped on the deadline day, and another person getting the phone call saying you're in.
Oh, imagine ours are somewhat different. Ours are somewhat different in their history. So I imagine most of my players. Well, I have to imagine I know who my players are. Most of mine are from the last 10 years, but I'd say a large portion of yours are from more than 10 years ago.
I'd say a large portion of mine come from... I'd say I've got a good mix, actually. I've got quite a few in there from 99, as you'd expect. I've got... Yeah, I think I've got quite a good mix that's broad across a lot of ages. Yeah, I would say that.
All right.
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. Do you reckon Do you reckon
Go
you've
on.
kept to your homegrown ruling? You've got enough for homegrown players, and
Oh, how many do you need?
well, I don't know, but do you reckon you must have loads. I mean, the class of '92, some of them have got to be in there. You got that?
Yeah, I've got loads.
Yeah, good.
8, I think, just counting off the top of my head. 9. Yeah, happy with that.
Oh my
Happy with that.
goodness.
So, okay, goalkeepers first. Who are your 3 chosen goalkeepers to represent Tottenham Hotspur in the fictional tournament against Man United?
Our current goalkeeper, World Cup winner Hugo Lloris, because he's the
Drink
best
driver.
goalkeeper we've
The
ever
drink
had.
driver, Hugo Lloris.
Drink driver, yeah, he won't be driving a team bus. I'll then have a player signed from Leeds for a lowly fee, I think about 1.5 million after they got relegated. Paul Robinson.
Nice, yeah.
And then I have the old hand, the old experienced gloves who came in majestically after a season, too many seasons of Aurelio Gomez. We have Brad Friedel, who was much more of a calming
Are you
influence.
going for Friedel? I thought Ian Walker might have just snuck in.
It was my first goalkeeper, I remember, but it was all right. But Brad Friedel was just kind of just pure class, just professional and just calming influence. Very nice to have in the side.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I reckon you can guess my 3 goalkeepers. So go for it. Go on, have a guess.
Peter Schmeichel,
Yes.
Edwin van der Sar,
Yes, and David De Gea. Yes, there we go. So that's my 3 goalkeepers. 3 world-class goalkeepers, all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm
That
not
isn't
too
bad at
sure
all.
who I'm picking to be number 1. Maybe give them a group
No,
game
that
each.
is tough.
Don't know. So, okay. On to defenders. How many have you
right
gone
back.
for? How many? Hang on. How many
So
have you gone for?
I've got 8. I've got 2 right backs, 2 left backs, 4 centre backs.
Okay, interesting.
Have you done something similar?
I have. It's an interesting
7
one.
right backs and a sweeper.
Yeah. I've got 2 left backs, 1 utility, 1 out and out right back,
Dennis Irwin.
1 person who's a right back or a right winger, and 3 centre backs. I've gone for utility. I've gone for options. That's what I've gone for.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I'll keep mine nice and clean then.
Yeah.
So, because I can describe mine quite easily. So, at right back, I've gone for the best right back we've had in our Premier League era. That was Carl Walker.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Fantastic player. Sad to see him in a massive chair, but also nice to see him do well. And then my favourite right back growing up, who was a very good right back, scored a couple of goals against Manchester United. It's
Stephen Carr.
Stephen Carr, my lord.
Yeah.
And then at left back, I've got our 2 current left backs because the rest of our players were absolutely shocking. So we have Danny Rose and Ben Davies because I'm not going to pick Eric Edmond, Timothy Atuba, Mauricio Taricco, Reto Ziegler, Christian Ziege. None of them are getting anywhere near it.
What about,
Our current
Benoit Osso Akoto, whatever his name was, who said, I literally play football because I need the money, or I do it for the money.
Benoit Sokoto and Pascal Chimbonda, between them, right back, left back, had like 1.5 good seasons at us, but they're nowhere near the level that our current 2 are.
Okay.
And the centre back, I think because I just wanted to see this for a while, I never will do obviously. I would like to see these 2 line up as our first choice 2 would be Sol Campbell and Ledley King.
Nice. Yeah.
Obviously both homegrown, both Spurs players. One of them is looked at more fondly than ever.
Yeah.
And then our current 2 centre backs, Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen.
Okay. Nice.
So that makes up my defence. Pretty solid.
It is.
I'd say.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I do like that. It's a good. I like the centre back options you've got. It's impressive.
Yeah.
So.
All ball playing, all lovely players there.
Yeah. Okay, so left backs, I've got Patrice Evra because he was just a hero. Take out the first 3-4 months after his signing, he was brilliant at left back for us.
Take out his shocking start against City, and he just couldn't handle it. He just went in the gym and actually bulked up and
exactly.
Fantastic player.
You named one of them already. Dennis Irwin makes it in there. Right back or left back, free kicks, penalties. Legend, absolute hero, Dennis Irwin. So he makes the squad. We have the Neville brothers. Both of them are in there. Obviously,
what?
Gary.
Neville brothers?
Yeah, Gary Neville at right
Phil
back.
Neville.
Phil Neville makes my team. He makes my 23 utility options.
Oh
You'll
my
realise
god.
why I need an extra defensive player who can possibly slip into defensive midfield. Because when I get to my attacking players, it's quite unbelievable, and none of them would really probably maybe one or two of them might want to defend, but other than that, yeah, not many other people. The right back slash right winger was Antonio Valencia. I think
What?
I hate the fact he can't cross. But he's been outstanding for Man United as a right winger. He was very good when we signed him from Wigan, and moving back to right back, he had like 2 and 3 seasons in a row under Fergie when he started moving back to right back, and he was absolutely incredible. So he's in there. I'm not saying he's going to start. Gary Neville would start at right back, and then the 3 centre backs I've picked: Vidic, obviously, Ferdinand, obviously, and the beast that is Yapstam.
Phew. I was wondering where you're going to go with that. When you
So,
said utility player at the start, I was like, you haven't chosen John O'Shea, have you?
oh
That's
God, no.
crazy.
No. He was getting close, but then I went back and looked at that YouTube video where he had that shot. So,
Yeah. Did you not fancy one of the twins in there? One of the
Fabio
De
Raphael.
Silva twins?
No.
Yeah,
They-
Raphael probably. Raphael's a better one.
Raphael was the better one. And he scored a fantastic goal on his debut, I think it was, against Arsenal, where he hit a volley that came to him from a corner, and he spanked it into the top corner. But no, he never did enough. He never did enough for me, and it's, I think it's similar to the sort of goalkeeping situation that Man United had. Is that right back after you could argue that after Dennis Irwin, we didn't have a good fullback for quite a while, and then we had Evra at left back, and then right back after Gary Neville, we've never really filled it with anyone that's done well, like it's outstanding.
No.
I should say outstanding.
No, that's fair.
So Valencia gets in, and Phil Neville gets in because he's, everyone needs someone to laugh at, don't they, in the squad? So Phil Neville's
He just knew he got mocked mercilessly by people.
Yeah.
It makes me a little bit sad to think that he
He
got
was
bullied,
good as
but
well.
he probably did.
He was good. He did have his uses, his utility. He can play a lot of player positions. He's like a time wasting sub, isn't he? Phil Neville. He's in my 23 anyway.
I remember.
So,
Okay, all right.
yeah, he's
So we
in
move into midfield.
midfield. I think this is where it gets very tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a kind of in my head I was playing a 4-2-3-1. So I've got 4 central midfielders here, maybe a little bit defensive, kind of box to box. So I have my 4 are, one of them was a bit of a last minute rogue pick to add balance, but you can work out which one that is.
Balance.
So I've chosen
Overrated.
yeah, I've chosen this player. He's played for both Spurs and United, but started his career at West Ham. Who have I chosen?
Michael Carrick,
Correct.
who is also in my 23. I will point that out now.
Oh, I also then chose this player Spurs signed before one of the Euros. We signed from Dinamo Zagreb, probably one of the greatest players of all time.
Luka Modric.
Is now, yes, and then we replaced this player with a player we signed from Fulham, a Belgian international.
The man you love.
Yes,
Dembele.
Mr. Dembele.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this player was added to balance because he came in at a tough time. He came in from West Ham. He treated games really weirdly. He ran 90 minutes in 70 minutes. So for the last 20 minutes of the game, he was absolutely on his knees. But he put in so many challenges. He was good for us at that time. So my last choice was Scott Parker.
Oh, interesting. I would not have thought you'd pick Scott Parker in there. Okay.
No, I mean, I could have chosen. I always had a soft spot for kind of Tom Huddleston. I didn't really like Jermaine Genius. Didier Zakora had a soft spot for Steve Malbronk. Some players, but there's no one really of that class. And so Sandro I could have chosen, but Scott Parker, that kind of English talisman, he just put his body on the line. So I appreciate his effort for club.
Okay, nice. Yeah, interesting. Have you got any other midfielders you want to list off there, or are you going on to wingers
Yeah,
next?
I'll go for wingers and attacking midfielders. So obviously I've gone for this player signed from Southampton. He's gone on to be an absolute world star and absolute won Champions Leagues and is his best player. Is starting to have a very good season this season as well. So I've gone for Gareth Bale.
I mean, he had to be in there. Yeah, he had to be in there.
Yeah. Other wide men. I've got 2 other wide men. One is almost like a target man, playing as a wide man. He's a big lad, but he was technically gifted. I think signed from Newcastle, played on the left, could go drop in left, right. Big strong guy. It is the Frenchman. It is
David Ginola.
David Ginola.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
And my last wide man, it gets ridiculed for his injury-prone
Oh God.
career, but he could really put a ball in from the right. He had a decent England career.
You've picked Darren Anderton, haven't you?
There you go, Darren Anderton. Hey, I have not got the same kind of riches that you've got to pick on from. All right, I've got to do what I can here.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
And then through the middle, attacking wise, I've got this is midfielders. So I've got this player was signed Champions League campaign, signed from Real Madrid for an absolute bargain. And as soon as he came in, he was just phenomenal. Worked well with Peter Crouch. His touch was amazing. He loved scoring at Arsenal. He was one of my favourite players at the time. It is Rafael van der Vaart.
Oh, Van der Vaart, yeah, of course. Yeah. Wow.
And the last one is our current Van der Vaart, Modric type player, that little diminutive playmaker, goal scorer, from Ajax, the Danish Player of the Year, for 4 years, and it's Christian Eriksen. So that is my midfield. For a minute,
I was worried you hadn't put Eriksen in there, and I think he has to be in there. So excellent. All right, so my midfield has Michael Carrick is in there. We've already discussed that. I just think solid. You know what you're getting with Carrick. Good way to retain possession if you need him to. He's balanced. He won't attack too much. Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Underrated player, yeah.
Very underrated. Now you've got to remember, I've already got Antonio Valencia's on the bench and he covers right back and right midfield. So unless I get both right-sided players injured, he'll be coming on. He's cover for both. So that's why I've only got one right winger in my team. Well, I've got two, but one's a bit of a striker as well. So in the middle of midfield, Carrick, Scholes, Keane.
Yes.
Simple.
Correct.
Easy.
Yeah.
Backing them up, the man with 3 lungs, Park Ji-sung.
What?
He's in there. He's absolute hero, Park Ji-sung. Absolute hero.
Your squad just reeks of versatility.
But we're talking about balance and options, aren't we? It's a 23-man squad that goes to a tournament. You need that versatility in there. Park Ji-sung was a hero. Like, so good. Underrated. Massively underrated. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo, I've listed him down as a winger. Right wing in this team.
Okay.
David Beckham, Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
Done. That's my midfield.
Okay, that's okay.
Because I've got 5 strikers.
Oh my goodness, got 5. Who's your last minute swap? Who did you swap out?
My swap out. Well, I was going to pick Bojan Djordjic, who you probably haven't heard of.
Of course, I've heard of.
Yeah, good man.
He's Swedish.
Yeah, he was Swedish. He was meant to be like this superstar. He played 2 or 3 games for United, maybe like 6 or 7. He played 1 in the Champions League against Celtic and lobbed the goalkeeper from the edge of the box. It was absolutely unbelievable. It's on YouTube if you want to go and watch that. But I was going to pick him purely for Champ Manager reasons, because I absolutely love him on Champ Manager 102, and I always played him when I was Man United boss, and he always scored lots of goals. But I don't think I can justify him in this team because, well, he's not very good in real life, other than scoring that goal against Celtic. So yeah. So my last minute swap was to take him out and then have Valencia as the right back, right wing cover, and just bring in another striker. So.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, why not?
Right. I feel like you're missing
versatility. Who do you think I'm missing from that midfield?
I don't know, but there's got to be some people. I can't think of some head who you're missing, but I mean, Kleberson, Jemba, you're missing.
Oh God. Anderson.
Anderson. Oh, I liked Anderson. He had a lot of promise. Oh God, I don't know. Nicky Butt.
No,
probably not.
I'm not putting Nicky Butt in there. I'd rather have Carrick and Park Ji-sung.
Yeah, I suppose Fellaini, Mata.
No.
Like Pogba.
No, Pogba hasn't done enough to be in this team. No.
That's the thing. My players now have done enough, but because obviously his Spurs' history is bleak, but your history is amazing. So the current players haven't done enough. Yeah.
Exactly. So
okay.
At push,
all
one
right,
of my strikers could drop into midfield. They could drop into midfield, but it was tried and it was a failure. So. And then he tried it again at Everton, and it was a failure.
We know who.
Yeah.
Right, so let's talk. I've got a front three. You've got a front five. So, well, can you guess my three strikers?
Harry
I
Kane,
don't think you can. Yes.
Teddy Sheringham,
Yes.
Les Ferdinand.
No.
Oh, who's the third? Who's the third striker? Who's the third striker?
Ex United.
Hey?
Yeah?
Louis Saha.
No,
Did he play for Spurs?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
alright
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dimitar Berbatov.
Oh, Berbatov. He's even on my list. How did I
Is
forget
he?
that? Yeah,
Oh.
he is. Yeah, he is. Okay, so they're your three strikers. I mean, that's
Three
that is
strikers.
good, isn't it? That is good.
That is good. I mean, honourable mentions to Klinsmann, Defoe, Keane, all missed out. Postiga, Gregor Raziak. Unfortunately, you guys missed out, but that is a
Janssen.
front three. Who? Janssen, Soldado,
Lorente.
Oh.
Yeah, all the classics.
yeah, Andy Booth, yeah. And so I'm going to guess your front five now, then, Dave.
Go on then. So you've already got two of them.
So, yeah, Rooney and Berbatov.
Yeah.
So, you've gone for Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Of course I have, because I absolutely love the guy. You know that.
Yeah. So I've got two left.
Yeah, two left.
I'm going for
One of them isn't
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
He is in there, yeah. He was the last minute switch. He came in. Ole Gunnar
Oh,
Solskjaer.
God. And Dongfang Zhuo.
No, but I did have a very big soft spot for him. You could argue. I love a bit
so
of
the
Dom.
last one. You do.
Come on, last striker, Josh. Come on, it's easy.
Last striker. It's easy, is it?
Yeah,
You
this
had too
was-
many good strikers.
He was the third name I put down when I was doing this.
Oh, my God.
And he
feel
came
like-
after Schmeichel, De Gea, and then this player.
It's not going to be York or Cole. It's not going to be one of those two. Oh, God. I feel like I'm missing someone so obvious. I can't think of it. No, you have to put me on misery, Dave.
Change the Premier League, mate. He made Man United what they are.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, I'm missing massive.
Eric
yeah.
Cantona.
Yeah, Eric Cantona.
Exactly.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. That is it. And it's so hard. That's why I had to pick five strikers, because, like, there's so many options.
Well, you could. I mean, because Solskjaer had to fill in on a wide sometimes,
He did,
so he can kind
yeah.
of float about and.
It's
yeah.
like you said, Josh. My squad stinks of versatility.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's only one winner if these teams play each other, because basically you're playing against one of the greatest Premier League sides of all time, and then versus the current Spurs 11, basically, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It really is. So it would be an
Who
interesting
finished
matchup.
third against Leicester. Yeah.
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 It would be an interesting matchup. So, okay, so very quickly, because I know we're running out of time. Very quickly, starting 11 of that team, that squad. What's your starting 11?
Lloris, Walker at right back, King, Campbell centre back, Rose at left back, Modric and Dembele in midfield with Bale, Ginola and Van der Vaart with Kane up top.
Okay, nice. All right. De Gea in goal. Gary Neville at right back. Vidic, Ferdinand, Evra. Scholes and Keane in the middle. With Beckham. So that I can... No, I can't do it. I can't do it because that's leaving out Ronaldo. Scholes and Keane in the middle. Giggs on the left wing. Beckham or Ronaldo on the right. I can't make a decision. And then I would actually go up front because they're my favourite players. I'd go Van Nistelrooy and Solskjaer, but that wouldn't happen if I was actually playing a game. If I was actually playing a game, it would be Van Nistelrooy and Cantona.
Yeah, that'd be a cracking front two.
But yeah, I don't know how to fit Beckham and Ronaldo in the same team. And I left out Jaap Stam as well.
You did leave out Amsterdam,
But
that
Vidic
is
and Ferdinand
amazing.
is incredible. It's a good team, innit?
Yeah.
It's a very good team.
Quick thoughts. On the opposite side of things, who is your most hated player who played for Man United?
Oh, my most hated player that played for Man United. I always hated... didn't necessarily hate him as a player. I hated how much people thought he would be brilliant, and that was Luke Chadwick. Like, it really annoyed... Because whenever I watched him, I thought, he's not very good. Like, how did he do that? I mean, Laurent Blanc was terrible at United.
No hate for Carlos Tevez.
No, I don't. Because it's more of his agent.
Gabriel
Heinze.
Heinze?
It was Gabriel Heinze was a good player. It was just. I don't know. No, I don't hate those players. I genuinely don't. Carlos Tevez is a knob, but I still put that down to Kaya Jubachian, or whatever his agent it was at the time.
Yeah. He's gone away, hasn't he? Yeah.
He's disappeared off the site. Yeah. I mean, hated player. I don't really ever hate anyone that represents my team.
You're like the opposite to me, Dave. I can make a big list here.
Yeah. Well, you've got a big list growing in this podcast. Like every week, there's someone else to add to it.
I'm probably going to be on people's lists.
Yeah, exactly. Can I think of anybody that I generally have a big dislike for? Who's played
comments below, listeners. Yeah. Who is your club's or your most hated player who played for your club? Who do you go? No, I mean Spurs players don't bother commenting because we've all got. So there's no point to.
Yeah, that's true. Sol Campbell is pretty hated, isn't he, for Spurs fans? Yeah, he's in your 23 squad and you're starting him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, David May. I've got a bit of a hatred of David May, purely because he did fuck all in that '99 Champions League final, and then got centre of the photo holding the trophy.
Jonathan Greening.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't really do enough to hate him. He was okay for West Brom.
He was in your Champions League squad, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. He was in the Champions League squad. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that. If I think of it, I'll leave it in the comments myself, because there'll be someone out there. There'll be someone out there that I really don't like. So, but yeah, interesting. Okay, well that'll be the end of the podcast. I quite enjoyed that, Josh. That was good. It got a good bit of tracker in. And when I was reading through the players and going through the 23, I just had a massive smile on my face for the whole time. It was awesome.
Oh, you will do, yeah.
It was really good.
You remember the good times. Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll end the podcast and see it out in the traditional form and traditional format. Let's have a fact of the day, Josh.
Okay, the fact of the day is that Manchester City set a new record in the Champions League this week. They are the first side to ever lose 4 consecutive games. Actually, that can't be right.
That can't be right. That cannot be right. Josh has messed up the fact of the day. Oh, Josh.
I mean, there's shit sides in the Champions League who lose.
That is ridiculous. Josh has just put us into laughter here. Right.
What? Well, that's not a new record in the Champions League. But they lost 4 games in a row.
Right, Josh has really messed up the end to this podcast, so we will leave it there.
Oh, sorry. But they did lose 4 games in a row.
Yeah, but it's not a new Champions League record. Right, okay.
Alright, well, on that bombshell.
So, next week, Josh is going to come back with 2 facts to make up for this week.
Yeah, sorry.
Come back with 2 facts.
Sorry,
you
guys.
can take the Ruben Neves fact. How about that for this week's football fact of the day? Josh, please say your farewells and goodbyes.
I'm so sorry, everyone. That's a letdown.
Right,
from a football factory.
Thank you very much for listening. And remember to follow us on Twitter, Football Talk, but there's no A in football. We've got our own YouTube channel now as well. You can go and find us on YouTube, just search for Football Talk. And we're on SoundCloud, just search for Football Talk as well, and you'll see us there with a nice green speech bubble. But thank you very much for listening, and for now, with Josh's failed attempt of a fact, we're out. Cheers.
Bye.